Temporary deployment points of the Ukrainian armed forces in Otradnoye were destroyed by Russian Molnia UAVs. A remote-controlled robotic platform of the Ukrainian armed forces was on its way to deliver equipment or supplies to the positions. Russian drone operators detected it in time and destroyed the robotic platform with an attack drone. A view from the UAV control center of Russian fiber optic drone operators. The team is setting up the drone for the attack. After the final checks are done, the drone is taken outside for launch, and the cable of the fiber optic drone is connected for control. The drone, loaded with heavy ammunition, takes off for the attack.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
Сводим. Простые, блядь, как рубль 20.
A blow to the energy sector. A FPV drone of the 6th Army destroyed a generator supplying electricity to the Ukrainian camp in the Kupiansk direction. Kherson direction. Quite far from the banks of the Dnieper, Russian scouts discovered a hangar where the Ukrainian armed forces were storing equipment. The Russian Air Force destroyed the hangar and its contents with FAB bombs. In the Sumy region, Russian fiber optic drone operators are destroying pickups of the Ukrainian armed forces, preventing soldiers in bunkers from accessing various supplies and equipment. A 120mm mortar of the Russian paratroopers destroyed a Ukrainian armed forces UAV in the direction of the Special Military Operations Zone, Orakhovsk. Paratroopers of the North Group continue to succeed in hunting down the Mavic reconnaissance and attack drones of the armed forces of Ukraine.
Уничтожил пидора на 135-й точке. Видео уничтожил.
While the battle continues on the ground, the battle of drones continues in the sky. Don't forget to join our Telegram group.
Цепляется. Готов. Воу! Видеобомба.
I would like to thank all the members of the military who recorded the videos in high resolution and made them available to us.
О.
The Russian Defense Ministry reported that the Russian armed forces destroyed nearly 70 Ukrainian soldiers at a training camp in Sumy region with the Iskander missile defense system. Reconnaissance units of the Russian armed forces destroy a Ukrainian tank abandoned after intense attacks. In the same direction, a camouflaged, self-propelled howitzer is spotted, and a FPV drone slowly approaches and shoots it down. Then a warehouse used by the Ukrainian armed forces is found, and the FPV drone crashes into it, destroying everything in the warehouse with several powerful explosions. The 215th Reconnaissance Battalion first destroyed Ukraine's helicopter-type drone in mid-air. Then it destroyed the repeater antennas in the UAV control center. Then it hit the infantry bunker in the UAV control center. For Russian fiber-optic drone operators, moving through the woods doesn't seem too difficult. They destroy all equipment with nimble maneuvers. The Ukrainian armed forces organized a large armored corps for an offensive in the Kursk region. However, the entire attack was repulsed by the Mugafes paratroopers from the 98th Division, repulsed the entire attack by the Mugafes paratroopers. In just a few hours, Ukraine lost 2 American Bradley BMPs, IMR-2, ATVs, tanks, and a large number of infantry. Footage of the combat work of the 3rd Combined Arms, Army of the South group of troops to destroy the UAV control center and takeoff point of the armed forces of Ukraine. Siversk direction. Kharkiv direction. Russian fiber-optic drone operators destroyed trucks and pickups of the Ukrainian armed forces throughout the day. Since fiber-optic drones communicate with the control center via cable, the images that the drone transmits to the control center are very clear, high-quality HD images. Since the drones communicate via cable, the drone operator can instantly monitor what is happening without interruption or delay, and can make precise maneuvers to hit targets directly. Sumy region. An American-made M777 howitzer used by the Ukrainian armed forces was discovered. Then the attack FPV drone was activated and, with nimble maneuvers, reached and destroyed the howitzer without touching the nets and trees. Troops of the 36th United Armed Forces Army struck the temporary deployment point of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. The American-made Max Pro, which came to evacuate the soldiers at the temporary deployment point, was also attacked by Russian FPV drones. The evacuation failed, and the armored vehicle was abandoned. Then the Molnia aircraft-type drone set out to finish off the armored vehicle and destroyed the armored vehicle with a powerful explosion. Drone interceptor Spruce, in the fight for the sky in the NWO zone. UAVs are irrevocably changing the face of modern warfare. The rapid evolution of unmanned systems is on the way to creating specialized drones for the most effective solution of specific combat missions. The Yelka air defense drone is a compact, specialized kinetic interceptor that operates on the principle of capture, hit, forget, similar to man-portable air defense systems. It engages the target by mechanically colliding with and destroying the structure of the enemy UAV, which ensures that Spruce does not use a warhead, although this is optionally possible. Its excellent speed and maneuverability, as well as its advanced AI-assisted target detection and tracking system, make it highly successful in SWO. The simple and compact reusable launch platform, simple operator instruction on how to prepare and launch the interceptor make it usable by any frontline fighter, while the kinetic interceptor principle, without the use of explosives on board, eliminates safety risks for ground personnel at all stages of the product's life cycle. The video shows September 2024. Soldiers of the Russian armed forces destroy an attack UAV of the AFU with the Yelka kinetic interceptor, causing the ammunition on the enemy UAV to explode. Pokrovsk direction. The Baba Yaga drone of the Ukrainian armed forces was shot down. Then the electronic equipment and antennas at the UAV control point were destroyed. A bunker was detected near the same location, and the fiber optic drone entered the bunker and destroyed it. Armored vehicles and pickup trucks were also hit one by one in the Pokrovsk direction. During night operations, VT-40s tracked armored vehicles and pickups and destroyed them one by one. This is how Russian FPV drone operators destroyed an abandoned Ukrainian armed forces equipment with a single precise and accurate strike. The Russian armed forces called on Ukrainian infantrymen to lay down their weapons and surrender. 3 infantrymen of the armed forces of Ukraine responded positively to this call and slowly surrendered with both hands raised in the air, leaving their weapons in plain sight. Ukrainian soldiers were safely evacuated from the area. Russian forces are intensively attacking the trenches of the Ukrainian armed forces in the direction of Kupiansk. The trenches are heavily surrounded from the air and on the ground. UAV operators of the 29th Guards Army spotted the stronghold of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Shakhtarskoye direction. They then destroyed the fortress with an airplane-type UAV. Russian UAV operators found a tank of the Ukrainian armed forces on the move. A Russian FPV drone struck the fast-moving Ukrainian tank. The tank, which lost its rotation, was hit by 2 more FPV drone strikes, and the tank was completely destroyed. Russian forces intercepted 266 airstrikes of the Ukrainian armed forces over the major cities of Donetsk. Russian artillery is relentlessly shelling the bunkers and positions of the Ukrainian armed forces. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. Footage of UAV operators of the Southern Forces Group destroying a Ukrainian armed forces stronghold near the Toretsk region. According to reports, 5 Ukrainian fighters were trapped under the rubble of the house during the explosion. A fiber-optic FPV drone captured a Ukrainian soldier on a communications tower in the village of Slobozhanska in the Kharkiv region. The frame also includes the crash of the FPV drone of the Molnya-2 type aircraft into the communication node at the base of the tower. A destroyed BTR-4 of the armed forces of Ukraine can be seen in the background. This is how a soldier of the Russian armed forces blew up a bunker of the Ukrainian armed forces using an anti-tank mine in the Pokrovsk direction. Russian aviation and artillery are striking the bunkers and strongholds of the Ukrainian armed forces.
Ёпсы мопсы.
Максимально.
Ух.
Russian infantry throws explosives at the bunker of the Ukrainian armed forces and destroys the position. An FPV drone of the Russian armed forces from the Southern Forces Group shot down an ATV carrying Ukrainian armed forces infantry. A Russian fiber optic drone blew up a basement of the Ukrainian armed forces. In the Krasnolimanska direction, the BTR-3 used by the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed as a result of a hit by a Russian fiber optic drone. The armored vehicle appears to have been abandoned.